All right, class. Welcome back to this final exam session and this final lecture in regards to English 1301. I am Mr. Welsh. Class, let's talk about what's happening in regards to your final exam. I sent you a memo out last week that talked about my adjustment of the syllabus due to the new requirements of the EPCC English Division. And in it, I mentioned that in regards to the rest of the semester, you will be required to write one final essay. And we're going to talk about that essay today. It will serve as your final exam. And once again, to recap, class, I wanted to let you know that for this essay, you're not required to go to the writing center, but you can get assistance there if you wish. In addition, you're only going to turn in the final draft of this essay through Blackboard Messages, okay? And I've already posted the directions for this essay for some classes late last week and early this week for this class. While all of your other essays this semester receive letter grades, this essay will be graded in a pass or no pass fashion. If you pass the essay, there will be minimal comments. If you receive a no pass, the grade will be justified with extensive comments, class. And then you're going to turn in your essay for, sections 11924 and 11941 on November 29th, and then class, as you've noted, for 12699, 11944, and 12092, December 2nd. Okay, so I've sent you those those notices too, with the notice that went out last week that says, or for a few of the classes went out on the 16th of November. As promised, I've attached the instructions for the final exam. You can find all of the details under Blackboard handouts. It's listed as the final exam instructions. As noted in my last memo, this essay will be due on, and I just told you the dates, November 29th or December 2nd. Next week, I will post a lecture that explains the instructions. In the meantime, take detailed notes on the prompt. I hope you are safe and well, and I continue to hope that, class, as we get through this time. So, class, let's talk about the final exam and what I sent to you as a prompt over Blackboard, the Blackboard handouts, class. So this will be your final exam. For this essay, imagine that the Chamber of Commerce is sponsoring an essay contest. The prize-winning essays will be published in the El Paso Times in a special Sunday issues section entitled The Special Traditions. The special traditions, the special traditions that I remember. Each entry is to be an essay that explains one of the following. So, class, you just need to write one essay, and it's about either number 1 or 2. Let's talk about this. Class, make sure when you turn in this essay this semester that you keep following everything I've worked on with you in regards to this semester. Give it a good title. Have it proper double spacing. Go back and for the last time look at proper essay formatting for this class. This is the last time we'll have it. After this class, you will be you're going to be gone from me. So let's talk about this. You could write about class, a local custom. Explain one of the interesting local customs. Remember to give plenty of details so that a person from another area of the country would understand why the custom is and why it occurs. While you want your explanation to be interesting, to be interesting. To be interesting. You don't want the custom to seem silly, so be careful in choosing details as you explain. So let's talk. So you could write an essay for me in class about a local custom. What could be a local custom? A couple of my classes are hybrid classes this semester. So I was meeting with some students this week, and I asked them that question. A young woman yesterday in class said, could I write about Mr. Welsh, the Thanksgiving Day parade? I said, absolutely. Do you know about it? And she said, yes, I've been in it for 3 years with this dance troupe I'm in. And then before that, I used to always go with my family. I said, that's great. It's a perfect thing you can write about. I had another student yesterday in class say, Mr. Welsh, it's been a long time since it's happened, but we did Christmas Eve every year for a long time, for years, at my grandma's house in Juarez. Could I write about that? And I said, you know what? That's perfect. In Espanol, este perfecto. It's perfect, right? Because I know, as I told him, that let us know, write me a narrative about what happened. Christmas Eve in Juarez with your grandma, right? I told him it's going to be fantastic because I know it's going to be full of ritual. It'll be full of history. It'll be full of culture. In Espanol, la cultura. The culture. It's fantastic. He could do that. And I asked him, was it like a posada that you did? And he said, yeah. Aspects of Mr. Welsh. I said, fantastic. What I told him, class, as we get ready to wrap up the semester, when you're writing about your people, when you're writing about your culture, when you're writing about language, you can't lose, right? These are important things. Remember that. Once you leave me and you go on, class, in your college careers, always remember that's where a lot of powerful writing is. Especially, excuse me, in a place that's so powerful that we live in out here on the border, in La Frontera. Powerful place. Powerful. Culture, history, language, beauty, harshness, the desert, right? Even if you have problems with it, like I've met people who do. And people who love it, who I've met people who do. It's a powerful area here. La Frontera, on the border. Mexico, El Paso, Texas, Mexico. Fascinating class. So I said, yeah, you can do that. And I told him I look forward to reading it. Explain local custom. Explain one of your own interesting local customs. Remember to give plenty of details so that a person from another area of the country would understand what the custom is and why it occurs, while you want your explanation to be interesting, You don't want the custom to seem silly, so be careful in choosing details as you explain. That could be one. A few years ago, it's been quite a few years ago, I had a student tell me a local custom. She said, Mr. Welsh, I don't even know if this goes on anymore, but for me, a local custom is for quite a few years, every Friday night we did the cruise on Montana. Mr. Welsh, could I write about the cruise? And I said, yeah. I remember, God, I don't know, 10 years ago, I don't know if they're still there on Montana, I used to see signs in El Paso that said no cruising zone. And I'd look at those and kind of laugh and ask myself, how are you going to stop the cruise? If people want to cruise, you can't. So she wrote me a beautiful essay about that, of Montana cruising, right? A local custom. Maybe it's every Friday night you did something with your friends. can you write about it? A local custom. Maybe something with your family, a local custom. Maybe something to deal with Halloween or Dia de los Muertos class. Or maybe going to something every year like the Fiesta de las Flores. Or maybe for years you guys would drive out to Hatch and go to the Hatch Chili Festival. Whatever it is, you can write about it. Or class and or. Now, these kind of overlap. Number 2 says a family tradition. Explain one of your own family traditions. Remember to give us plenty of context for the tradition. 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 On what occasion does it occur? Who participates and why? How often does this occur? Etc. You want to create a picture of this tradition for your readers, so choose your details carefully. Last semester I had a student say, Mr. Welsh, I want to write about during football season for years. We'd get together at my uncle's house to get together to watch the Dallas Cowboys lose. Could we write about that? And I said, yeah. But now, class, people are watching the Dallas Cowboys win this season. Let's see, class, America's team. My son got me into them. God love him. 17, soon to turn 18. So, I like them over the years too. You don't have to like them. You may hate them. It's all right. America's team. Let's see, class, if they can do anything. It's been a long time since they've won a national championship. I think it was 95. Was it? Long time. Class, they're not losing this year. And so in that essay, he wrote about his family and who would bring what to the game. Each member of his family would play a role. Who would be on the barbecue sometimes. Who would bring the side dishes. Somebody would bring the cerveza. Somebody would bring a bottle of tequila. Class, I'm not advocating those sort of things, but that what it was his essay was about. Class, somebody get crazy in the family by the end of the night. It was a good essay. Class, can you write a family tradition? Maybe one time I had a young woman say, Mr. Welsh, every Sunday we used to get together at my grandmother's house after church. It's fantastic. Can you write a narrative about that? After church, family tradition, maybe Christmas. Last semester I read a great essay about a student that wrote an essay about every summer going up into Ruidoso and Cloudcroft with the family. That's fantastic. Now, if you're not from here, write about where you grew up. 3 years ago, I had a woman in my class who's about 50 years old, class, and she was from Detroit, Michigan. And she was an addition. This was before the COVID, and we were meeting in class. And she was a great addition to the class. She's about a 50-year-old woman working at Walmart, trying to revolutionize her life. She's in my class, and she was from Detroit. Class, Michigan. For those of you who don't know, that's the Motor City. That is an essential place in America. Detroit, Michigan. I've never been there. Been to a lot of cities in America. Never been to Detroit, and I want to go. And she wrote me this beautiful essay about a family tradition of when they went out to the lake in Detroit, outside Michigan, every summer for a family get-together. It's fantastic, class. Detroit, Michigan. So wherever you're from, I've had students from Germany in my class, students that landed in El Paso from Chicago. Occasionally we've had people from the East Coast. A few years ago I had another woman who was fascinating. She was from Philadelphia. And I talked to her about Philadelphia because that fascinates me. That's an old East Coast city. It's a city of brotherly love, class. Philadelphia gets cold in the winter. But I dig it. I haven't been there either. Want to go. But she wrote about it. Occasionally I get students from Chicago or Illinois. I've been there. You know. But if you're from here, write about the border, man. Write about the frontier. Juarez, cool. El Paso, cool. West Texas, cool. Right? These fascinating places. Class, so that's it. A family tradition that you do. Could be something for Thanksgiving. Could be Christmas. Could be a family get-together. Family tradition. Could be sometimes, I had a student one time write about once a month his whole family meets at Chico's Tacos. Whatever, class. It's all good to me. It's all good to me. I hope that helps. So think about it. Either write me an essay, 1 or 2. 700 to 1,000 words. Give me a good title. Keep it tight. I've worked with a lot of students this semester. Go over it again and again and again. Yesterday, I had a young woman I talked to, was in class, and we're already past the drop date, so nothing can be done. And I've read some good work this semester, but this student, I want to tell you what happened to help you for your years ahead, class. She hadn't been to class, and then all of a sudden she ends up in my class, and it's past the drop date. I told everyone about the drop date, and I looked at her essays, and I got out my notes of all my grades and every correspondence I've had with her this semester. I said, okay, let's see. We got a memoir, your grade was an F. We got a profile essay, your grade was an F. We got a review essay, and your grade was an F. In class, I'm still grading those review essays 7 days a week. I still have, I think I'll make that deadline of 2 weeks from when they were turned in. A lot of you, or some of you have received them back. I'm working 7 days a week. Hers was already back because she was an in-class student. And so I said, you know, we have an F, we have an F, and we have an F. And you should have dropped the class. And then I asked her, and I was being kind because it's just me and her one-on-one in the class, you know, because I hadn't conferenced with her yet, and it was an in-class thing. And I asked her, I said, I took a ton of time to grade your essays, each one. I put a lot of comments on there to help you, so I can help you revolutionize your life so you can see what you're doing wrong. And so when you got that first F, your other essays, you'd be able to improve. And you know what she told me? She said, Mr. Welsh, I just want to let you know, and she was nice, I just want to let you know that I didn't read one of your comments. I said, all right. I said, I'm trying to revolutionize your life, trying to help you. I was kind to her. Because, see, class, I kept up my part of the bargain. And I'll tell you what, when I first got my first D- in college, I was all over that paper, trying to see what I did wrong so I could improve, so I could come up in this world. I'm still trying to come up. So once again, she's going to get an F in the class, but I'm not here to judge her. I just said, wow, I like telling these stories. Why didn't you read my comments? Oh, I didn't have time, Mr. Wells. So I put a lot of time into grading those essays. If you're going to get an F, an F, and an F, I got to justify that. 20, 30 errors I marked on each paper. And I told her, I said, before you go, my hope is if you want to stay in college, you'll get together with a tutor. You'll get together with a writing center person. You'll get together maybe with a friend who's getting a bachelor's degree in English and knows this stuff, or a master's at UTEP. Sit down with them. Pull up your essay and work to correct those errors, class. I said these are some of the 3 biggest documents you'll ever receive in college. I want you to improve. So, class, there it is. And I've read a lot of good work this semester. A lot of good work. Work that's, some people wrote F memoirs and then their next essay, a profile up to a B+. I had one student recently, their profile was a B+, and their review was an F. They fell apart somewhere along the line. And it's just basics of the language. But a lot of good work. Class, I'm going to amend this final part here of the directions. It says, in each case above, you will need to investigate the tradition or custom in 2 stages. First, draw on your own memory of the custom and tradition. Class, and it says, second, you can collect some extra information if you want or for family members. But I'm going to say you don't have to do that if you don't want to. I want to make this simple. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. 700,000 words. A local custom, a family tradition. Give me a good essay. What you remember, what you know, that's where the powerful writing is. And then, class, once again, you get those in. 29th of the 2nd. I'll grade those. I get all the grades in for your review essay. I'll get those averages back to you. And then, class, English 1301 will be over. All right? So, I want to wrap it up now. Class, I read some good work this semester. I know we're in a challenging time. My son's a senior in high school. A bunch of people there have kids have broken out with COVID. Another school on the west side, a bunch of kids have broken out with COVID. And thank God most of them, it doesn't seem their symptoms are too bad. But, it's a challenging time. We got to get through the winter. We'll take things one day at a time. Hopefully in the spring, things will start looking up. I mean, they're looking up. We got to have hope. I think things are going to get better for our country with this virus, with this pandemic. I think there's some good things coming. But we're in a little bit of challenging time, so it's challenging right now at the college. Still, it looks like we're going to have a lot of students get through this, get through my class. Now, so it's been an interesting classes this semester. I've enjoyed being your professor. Class, do I have hopes for you? Each of my students, yes. Hopes and dreams. I want you to, if you're digging school, if you think you can get out of school, a lot of things, if you think school can revolutionize your life, stay with it. All right? I believe in education. I believe in the power of education. Okay? Is it for everyone? No. But if you like it and you want new opportunities in life, you can't lose. You can't lose. Even my father, who never went to college, God rest his soul, and he was a bus driver in Los Angeles, and he went to high school but never went to college, he always told me, because he was too fond of partying. He's a good man. I miss him. But he pulled me aside even though he didn't go to, and he didn't want me to go to college. He didn't make me do anything. He said, Lawrence, if you get a college degree, no one will ever take that from you, and you'll become an educated man. I said, all right, Dad. I'll remember that. And I didn't start school till I was 23. He was right, you know. He's a good man. As I mentioned before, my mom never even went to high school because she was an immigrant. An immigrant from Ireland. I'm wearing this today, Notre Dame Irish, because of her. God rest her soul. Smart woman, bright woman, could write. She just had to leave and immigrate to America because there was a lack of opportunities at that time in Ireland. A lot more opportunities now. God rest her soul too. So class, I want the best for you. No matter where you are, class, as a writer, be good to yourself. Even if you hate writing, be good to yourself. Be gentle. And if you like it or think you have some talent with it, take it as far as you want. If you need work like your professor still needs work, keep writing. I've been writing every day basically for 35 years. Some days it's just a poem. Some days it may be a letter to a friend. Some days I may be working on a new book. Class. But I know I'm not perfect. I know I'm a work in progress. I know in Espanol I'm estudiante, a student. Not only a professor or professor de inglés, but a student. And so be good to yourself. Don't compare yourself to other people. Don't compare. You just be who you are and you keep working. And remember this in your mind. If Mr. Welsh is going to keep working as hard as he can, I can work too. And he's my professor. And I'm still working, class. Working, trying to improve as a husband, as a father, as a man, as a professor, as a writer. Keep trying to improve. Never be perfect. Never. Still make mistakes. Just like my students. So keep working. And I always like to make that analogy as I wrap up today. You know, the writing game is like a fighting game. El Paso's a fighting town. We've had some good, usually lightweights, sometimes middleweights, never really a great heavyweight come out of town unless I'm missing it. But some heavyweights. And so as a fighter or a boxer, you have to train. Get in the gym. You get knocked out. You get up. You run. You get to the gym. You spar. You jab. You hook. You learn how to defend yourself. You get knocked out, but you're back in. You're working out. You're working out. You're trying, class. You're trying. Once again, you get knocked out, you get back up as best as you can. You're trying. And so that's what I want for you. Keep trying. You be yourself. Keep working. One word at a time, one sentence at a time. And I'll be right there with you, class. I'll be right there with the fellowship of students with you. I'm in the fellowship of students. Still trying myself. Okay? So that's it, class. All the best. I want the best for you. The very best. A lot of my students have done very, very well in this world. Gone very far. The best for you. The best for your family. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving and Christmas. Hit me up over an email once again, which I've been answering all semester long. If you have any questions, and with that said, class, I hope to see you back. Or I hope, once again, that if it's working for you, come back to the community college. You come back during the spring semester, and you keep taking this thing one day at a time. All right, class, that's it for me. Well, let's see, we're almost at 30 minutes here. About 15 seconds. So, yeah, the best of luck. Have a wonderful Christmas, end of the semester. I hope your family stays safe and well. And I'm going to sign off now. All right. Take care. Adios. Bye-bye.